All right, we are here together for
Again.
another episode of
What's It Good For?
This is when we come together at Spring Tree Media Group to discuss new products, new things we're doing, and I'll tell you what, we designed the new brochure for this, and the headline is, "This changes everything."
It does. I feel changed.
Do you feel changed?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I'll tell you why it changes everything. Okay, real quick story is at Flagler University, back in the turn of the century, not this century, the previous one, it was wired up by Thomas Edison, DC, direct current. Now, if you know, in your homes, your businesses, everything is AC, your lights, incandescent lights forever. Even now, LED lights are converted through AC, standard. We are now doing our first project down in Florida, and we're going to do a lot more projects because this is a game changer. Folks, this is the DMX1800. You put this in a closet in your electrical room. It'll power up to 120 of these. On the 30-watt versions of these, 48. And on the 50-watt versions, 24. One of these will do
24.
24 of them. Available in warm white or
RGBW.
Yep. Well, it's actually, they made it really like an amber. It's
RGB warm white. Yeah.
So an entire house or new commercial building, which we're doing a school. We're doing a school with 12 classrooms. This is a wing. It's not the whole school. They're building a new wing. First time, I think, in American history since Flagler University back at the early 1900s and Thomas Edison.
Whole thing's wired low voltage.
Low voltage. Oh my gosh, it is a game changer.
DC.
So, all right, just so you understand this, we're doing in that school about 100 and some of these lights in here. We're retrofitting some chandeliers with fixtures like these. These are just modules. These aren't end fixtures. They're, for instance, this is a sconce, and we took one of the warm white and we retrofitted a sconce that we just bought at Home Depot. But now, low voltage. So, low voltage, what does that mean? What does that mean? Do you know what it means?
It's not high voltage.
It's definitely not high.
No, but
it won't kill you.
It won't kill you, but what else does it mean? Who can wire this up?
Anybody can wire
Anybody
it up.
can wire this
I
up.
can.
You can do it. Okay.
Maybe can.
18 gauge wire. You could run it like running speakers. 18 gauge wire, you don't have to run, oh my gosh, if you're an electrician, you have to run to a typical fixture, MC cable, which is an armored cable if it's commercial, or you have to run your wire in EMT, conduit, or residential, Romex.
Yep.
All of it expensive, all of it high voltage. When we install some of these, actually, we're doing it live. We're touching it. The wires, you can't feel the electricity. It's completely safe, extremely bright. We're going to plug it in and show you.
Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll plug it in. You tell them.
This is meant to be in a closet. You're about to hear why. Because for this thing to last as long as we want it to last, we essentially have it super cooled. So these power supplies and electronics will stay very cool in your closet.
Gets wall mounted.
You can hear it.
It's got flanges. It goes against a wall, an electrical room, a utility room. Beautiful thing is 120 amp circuit. Oh my gosh, can do an immense space with power. Let me show you what some of this looks like. Obviously warm white. I'm not going to show it into the camera because it'll light the camera.
It's blinding me though.
You can do colors as well. It's a beautiful light. Extremely powerful. Available in warm white.
Plug
these
that
modules.
in too. You got an open spot up there.
I'm just afraid to show these into the camera.
And one of the 12
so
channels.
bright.
Yeah, these are ours, by the way. He didn't mention that, but we have had these designed and built for us so we can retrofit just about anything.
Yep, very, very bright. I have this really, really dim. All right, so the beautiful thing about this controller, right on the face, you can actually bring lights up, change colors, whatever, if you just wanted it to stay on all the time. Or it is DMX control, which I got a controller down here, and I'm able to change different settings. One of the beautiful things about this feature, I'm going to unplug it because, again, it's not meant to be in a video.
And it's sitting right next to our microphones.
Yeah.
So.
DMX1800. 12 individual zones. Absolutely controllable. You can separate it you can split it in half. You can do it in quadrants. Or you can end up with 12 individual zones controlling different lights. Each zone will control 2 of the 50 watters, 4 of the 30 watters. It will do 10 of these 12 watters. These are crazy powerful too.
They're stupid bright. You can't tell, but they're crazy bright.
So at the school, what we're doing is we're modifying some chandeliers within the center area. We're using the 50 watters in all the classrooms. We're putting 12 per classroom, extremely bright, what you would expect from a classroom. We are putting these on these fake beams we're putting across to uplight the ceiling, and then we're retrofitting the chandeliers with our 30-watt modules.
And he had mentioned that these channels are individually addressable. That is something you guys have requested over and over and over again. So for those who watch our videos, there you go. If you need separate zones, if you have a house of worship and you want to be able to do all the different zones, that's what you want right there.
Yep. Warm white or RGB, you can even intermix. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, doesn't care.
Yeah, it's 24-volt power. And just the thought you could put 120 of these on one of those with a 20 amp circuit.
Oh, in your house? Imagine if you did.
It's like the slogan we came. It is a game changer.
Yeah.
We're the first to do it. I don't know of anybody else in the country or the world right now doing DC lighting. All right, a little background. DC is what Thomas said is the one because it was safer. But the problem with DC is that the longer you run your cable, the voltage starts to drop. So you needed a power plant on every block.
Yeah.
Well, you were also powering up traditional incandescent type of fixtures.
And they were very inefficient.
Oh, and it required so much electricity. Yeah. But now with LEDs have always been DC. They're not AC.
Yeah.
So when you buy a bulb at Home Depot to plug in, there's a converter, transformer inside that bulb that changes. Did you know that? It's not AC, it's DC.
It's DC.
And you cannot dim LEDs. People think you can. So when you buy an LED bulb at Home Depot and it dims, well, there's actually electronics inside that's reading what you're doing with the electric and saying, hey, the electricity has dropped. I'm going to dim it. And it's pulse dimming, which if you notice at your residential LEDs, you dim them, and when they get to the bottom, they shut off.
Yeah.
And that's because there's no more electricity to control the electronics. And when you turn them up slowly, they won't turn on until you get to a certain volume, and they pop on. Why? They need electricity for the electronics because they're DC, they're not AC, and you cannot dim LEDs the traditional way with resistance or triac dimming.
Yeah.
It's all built in. So with this, the dimming is gorgeous. The curve is from 0 to 100% and back down. It doesn't pop off. And anybody can run this because you just got to meet your low voltage codes, which usually most areas if you get a permit, you have to get a permit. It's for money because they don't inspect it unless you've got wires drooping somewhere.
Now, if you do this in a house of worship, are you looking at an electrical savings if you go with this, with the low voltage?
You don't even see the meter moving.
Tremendous electrical savings. I mean, it's
now we've already installed
world-changing.
We've already installed over 100 of the 30-watt versions at the same school in their new chapel that they built, and they wanted color. So we went with an RGBW. It's almost always set to a warm white, but when they did the musical Susical, they were able to change everything within the entire room to different colors. This is honestly a game changer. I'm excited about this. Nobody's doing it, but it'll save you a fortune. All right, without dropping names, the school we're doing in Florida, though, we are able to do the entire installation, all the cable, all the lighting fixture, for about the price of their lighting package, which they had already selected and everything. They canceled it all. Okay, so what that means is just what the fixtures were going to cost them without the electricians running hundreds and hundreds of feet of armored cable. Are you impressed? You're just nodding your head like, here you go, yeah.
It'd be crazy expensive just doing all the electrical part of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is. And we were able to pre-wire 60% of it. We went to our first visit there recently. 60% of the entire facility got pre-wired in 8 hours.
Yeah.
And with very, very cheap cable.
Inexpensive, yeah.
Inexpensive, yeah, because you're not running electrical 12-gauge cable to every single light in the room.
And it's not dangerous. Again, I mean, anybody can install this.
Yep. And I mean, honestly, if you also needed to light up your whole room on a backup battery system, you can do a UPS, a very small one, and it'll stay on if power goes out because it doesn't draw a lot of voltage,
Yep.
a lot of electricity. Again, we've got the 10-inch 50-watt versions. We have the same exact one, 8-inch and a 30-watt, all available. RGBW and the warm white. We've got the 12-volt modules. Again, we're going to probably either retrofit it for you or sell these to integrators. I'm not sure if this is something we're going to just sell across the board to anybody.
Yeah.
You kind of got to know a little bit of what you're doing. We've got these modules. We've got warm white.
And is this RGBW?
And RGBW.
Okay.
And we actually we have a job where we may just leave these like this because it's a modern building. These are actually pretty stinking cool looking.
Yeah.
We're going to get a diffuser for the front of it, but this is an integrator's dream. This is somebody, we have a church that called up and they want to go this route. I actually said our spatial pendants, the 120 watt, those are AC powered though, is a better option for you. And they said, you know what? Our funds are limited and we want to do this ourselves. And we have no electricians in our church. We want to wire it ourselves. I said, I get it. Okay. So this is the way they're going.
Yeah.
And it works for them because anybody can run speaker wire.
18-gauge wire. Yeah.
18-gauge wire. Easy to do.
You can buy it at Home Depot. You can buy it at Lowe's. You can buy it at Menards. It's not a specialty wire.
No, and we can help you get it from we have a wire that's an 18-6, which means 18-gauge, 6 conductors, has an extra in there you don't need. But it is so cheap, and it comes in a 1,000-foot roll in a box where you pull it, you just run it quickly, wire net it together. You have said very, very little again.
Why am I here?
He's stunned. He's so impressed he can't even speak.
No, this is an amazing product. This is
I mean,
one of the best
you're
things
on the
we put
phone
out.
all the time speaking with people. Is this something you can explain and recommend now?
Yes, definitely.
Did I do a good job?
Not bad.
Did you learn?
I have to go back and watch the video a few times.
Well, anybody out there have any questions? Raise your hand. Nobody has any questions, so I must have done a good job. Anyway, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure doing these videos. We have a lot of fun doing them, and special right now. If you buy one of these, you get a free Dr. Seuss book.
Ah!
Oh, I guess we're going to hope don't kick us off YouTube. YouTube, we're joking.
That's true. They probably would not. They would kick us off.
They might.
They would.
We were being culturally inappropriate.
Oh, who cares? The world's crazy, and we're not crazy. We're looking out for you. We're out. Thanks.
See ya.